Check it out, folks. I done found the best meaty spaghetti sauce that you could ever find. And look, I know the food police gonna come after me for me calling it spaghetti sauce, but listen, the correct pronunciation is called Bolognese, right? Hey, with that being said, come on in and let's get it. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is, look, I'm cutting down my, my carrots, I'm doing my celery, and then I want you guys to take a look. And also I'm doing my onions, right? But I want you to look at the size. You wanna go ahead and dice them down small. Okay, so what I'm doing now is, first thing you wanna do is, you gotta get yourself 2 tablespoons, of butter, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and drop this in here. Once this melts, we get a little heat inside of our Dutch oven, then we're gonna go ahead and start with our onions first. If you've been following me for a minute, I always like to put my onions in first, and then I'll follow with my celery, carrots, or bell peppers. All right, so look, now that I got my, look, I'm gonna go ahead and do it this way. Now that I have my butter melted, you just wanna go ahead and put that in there. Again, I like to just give it a little bit of a head start, right? So just give it a 30 second, head start, and then we just go with that, right? After that, then I'm gonna come with my carrots, and then I'm gonna come with my celery, right? We always gonna do, our garlic blast. So now we sweat these down and get them to going. You just want your veggies to be coming on the soft side. By me having this square, wooden spoon, I just go like this. You can feel they're starting to get nice and soft. They're gonna continue to cook because we're gonna put some time in it once we do it, right? So look, I've already, loaded up my press. Now we finna add this. Oh yeah. I tell you folks, if y'all ain't got one of these already, you better get you one. All right, so now you just wanna move your garlic around, get it to sweat down, release this aromatic, and marry with the rest of your veggies, right? After you do that, which only takes like a couple of minutes. Notice I'm putting some pepper in here. Fresh cracked is the best. Then I'm gonna add, listen, 2, just pinches of kosher salt. Okay, so then you wanna remove your veggies, get yourself a bowl and just set them, off to the side, right? Now, we starting with our Dutch oven. We got a little bit of the residue, but check this out. We getting ready to work with that bacon, folks. So then when your bacon is finished, I just put it right here on top because we're gonna add it back in later, right? But you can look at this right here. Look at that. That's what you want. Notice the size that I cut it, but that's fine because we're gonna cook that. We're gonna put a little thyme under it, and that's gonna render down even more. So now, look, I'm gonna give you guys a pro tip. When I'm cooking like this, I left a little bit of the bacon grease in there, That's cool, right? I'm gonna take about half of this and just drop this in there like that, right? I'm gonna get my meat masher, and I'm gonna just start working this and putting it in there. If you overcrowd it, it'll be hard for you to get it brown, especially when we put the pork in there. So just notice what I'm doing. I'm gonna leave it alone like that, just for a hot minute, and let it start to cook, right? Once that, starts to cook, then I'm gonna do my ground pork. Take this, I move everything over, drop it in like this, start breaking this up. And then I'll add the other half in just a second. The main thing is you want to get everything nicely, real small. You don't want no big chunks in there or nothing like that. So you just want to go ahead and just work both of your meats. Okay, so look at how ground up this is. No big chunks or nothing like that. This is what you want to see, right? And I just use this as my spoon to just kind of like just move it around. If I see anything clumped together, I hit it. But for the most part, that right there is fire. All right, so now I'm getting ready to pour this. This is my white wine. I'm gonna go ahead and add that to 1 cup. All right, so remember our veggies? We had our bacon. I just put everything in there. Don't forget, I'm the one that's doing the dishes, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and just add and incorporate everything back. All the juices, everything. We wanna get it all. After you got everything mixed up, you remember that 1 cup of that white wine? Now we add that. Now, for those of you guys that wanna know, like, can you taste it? No, you can't. We're gonna let some of that evaporate. We're gonna cook it down, right? But this is all part of the process. Look, this will deglaze the bottom of your pot or your pan. It depends on what you're making it in. Probably wanna make it in sort of like a nice deep pot, you know what I mean? Because this is gonna render a lot. Now, you can just look from the meat side, the amount of meat, and then you can just start thinking like, man, he said meaty, and that's what I mean. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go ahead, let this come up to a simmer. We're gonna cook some of this down. Then we're gonna move on to the next step. All right, so listen, you wanna go about like 3-4 minutes. You just wanna be able to cook some of it down there for it to reduce, right? I gotta say this, for those of you guys that don't even want to take a chance by trying it this way, you always can substitute the white wine with chicken stock, right? So now, after that, you want to go ahead and add your tomatoes. After you got your tomatoes in, look, you want to go ahead and add yourself just a little bit, about a half a teaspoon, you know, of nutmeg. Remember, this stuff right here goes a long way, folks. All right, so I'm just giving it a stir. I still got it like on a medium flame because we want to keep a little heat on there, make it a little bit easier for us to bring it back up to a boil, right? That way we can set it up to a simmer. Now, the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give it about 3 generous pinches of salt. You know what I mean? So that'll be good. And then when it comes to this pepper right here, I'm finna twist until my arms and elbow and wrist get tired. All right, so now I'm just gonna go ahead and, you know, stir it up. You know what I mean? Because listen, after about 3 to 4 hours after I add the rest of my ingredients in, listen, everything's gonna be nice and soft, well married together, and just be fire, folks. And look, last but not least, I just wanna say this, you guys, you gotta trust the process. I'm adding in my milk. Okay, so last thing I'm gonna tell you is, listen, you see, now we coming up to a boil. I'm gonna set this to a simmer. And the last thing to do is put the lid on, and I'll see you guys in 3 to 4 hours. Okay, folks, I did take a peek at this about 30 minutes ago. I'm gonna go ahead and open this up because it's gonna be key for you guys to see just the thickness, right? So let me go ahead and just open this like this. Oh man. You see that right there? Ooh-wee. That's it. So let me look at my fire right now. Let me just go ahead and get this down just a little bit lower. We got the top over there so it'll let some of the heat out. But you wanna see what I'm talking about when I say thick? Look at that right there. Don't forget we got that 50-50 blend on that meat. Now, this is where it's gonna get where I'm gonna lose some of y'all, but you gotta trust me. I haven't steered none of y'all wrong yet. Trust me when I tell you how to do this. And that's when I go ahead and use the heavy cream. I know some of y'all right now, you can't even see it, but I promise you, you got to try it. So listen, heavy cream going in now, right? Still got that heat. I got it. Especially since in the beginning of this video, I mentioned that this might be like a spaghetti sauce, but I want you to pay attention to it and look at it, right? Let's get some more heat under here. Let's get this. I need to see some bubbles. This is what you guys are gonna need to see. And then as I'm mixing this right here, right? I'm finna come with my palm, right? Just a little bit at a time. You know what I mean? Just what gives it that thick. Man, I don't know what to tell you. You gotta try it. Like I said earlier, listen, I have never steered you guys wrong. Just try it. Well, since I've been turned on to this, I can't go back, folks. You know what I mean? Now, if you guys want to, you want it to be a little bit more on the red, you can go ahead and get yourself some tomato paste and put some of that in there. But I want you to pay attention to this, and I'm gonna cook this, you know, with all of these ingredients. I'm gonna probably cook it for about another, 15 minutes, get it back up to a boil and simmer for about 15 minutes. Then I'm gonna go ahead and taste it. Look at that right there. When you get that spatula, you run it across the edge right there. Let me turn this down because it's starting to pop. And now we add that parsley. Check it out. You guys come in here and look at this. I'm gonna just pour some of this right here on top like this. You know what I mean? And I gotta get me some pictures, but I'm gonna push this out there so you guys can see it. You see that? That's what I'm talking about. Now that right there is a sauce. Now, I don't know if everybody, does it with pasta, but for me, when you taste this, you wanna just put it on some pasta. To me, it's like my new spaghetti sauce. I'm just now sharing this with you guys. Listen, make this please before you beat me up, because I know I done put a dairy product in there and I know y'all probably tripping. Hey, with that being said, look, I'm finna get this right here and I'm finna taste this again, because when I tell you it's fire, it's fire. Look at the thickness of that right there. Cheers. Again, I done said it all. Try this. I promise you, listen, we on some new stuff, folks. Hey, with that being said, let me know down in the comment section below. Now, if you're new to my channel, let me just take this time to say, hey, thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, smash that subscribe button, and tell everybody out there there's a channel out here that's simplifying these recipes and taking the mystery out of cooking. And you know what I'm finna do, folks? I'm finna go back in, get me some more. Cheers. Peace.